Hello, blog, and welcome to a chilly campsite here in the Grand Teton National Park. I want to talk today about a couple of things, namely where we've been and where we're going. I'm going to start with a story. You know, sometimes in our Airstream, I think we get a little bit too cushy. We're a little bit too removed from the environment. And so it's really gratifying to be camping in a place like this here in the Grand Tetons. We have no hookups. No water, no power, no sewer. So we have to be self-sufficient, and our Airstream becomes a little bit more of an aluminum tent, which I kind of like. The first time that Christy and I ever went camping together was in Yellowstone National Park. It was completely unplanned. We did not have an RV of any kind. We were traveling through the area, needed a place to stay, and all the hotels were booked. So we were in Jackson, Wyoming, walked into the local Kmart, bought about $150 worth of camping gear, namely a tent, a couple of sleeping bags, and an inflatable air mattress. And we went up to Yellowstone.
You know, I'd never camped in a tent before in my entire life. We sort of did it on the fly. We literally bought our tent and our sleeping bags and our air mattress like a few hours before we drove into the park.
The first experience we had camping was predictably a slight disaster. Our inflatable air mattress had completely deflated by about midnight. Temperatures dropped into the 30s. We were freezing in our sleeping bags, and there were a lot of wild coyotes in the area that were making a lot of racket. And when we woke up the next morning, after about maybe 90 minutes of sleep, I was confident that my wife would never again go camping. I was wrong.
Take what you got and make the best of it. And we've done that in the past and had a great experience tent camping. A lot of people say to us, oh, I would love to do what you do, but we can't afford a camper. We can't afford an Airstream. And we totally understand that. And we haven't always had an Airstream. It's just been the last couple of years. And before that, we did tent camp. And tent camping was fun. I think really the only difference between tent camping and RV camping is that RV camping is more comfortable to do for longer periods of time.
Stand by for Inferno.
Tent camping does kind of wear you down a little bit more. But there's also a freer sensation with it that you don't have as much stuff that you're lugging around. You know, you can be a little more flexible with where you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
You can be a little more adventurous with where you sleep, enjoy, get out there and see something. It might just be a state park that's an hour from your house, but if you go in a tent, it's going to be an adventure.
The recurring theme of our website, of course, is Get Hitched, which really translates to Carpe Diem. Seize the day. Get out there and do it, even if that means getting a cheap tent and sleeping bag and going somewhere. The adventure is what counts. You know, when we started out tent camping, we had some rough times. We had some times when we were freezing our butts off in those tents. But we look back on that with great fondness. And it was those experiences that led us to getting an Airstream and sort of taking it to the next level. My point is, don't wait on the gear, because all the gear does is help facilitate the adventure. Sometimes the adventure may be best in a $40 Kmart tent. With that said, we really had a brilliant summer of travel this year on Long Honeymoon. We've seen a lot. We've been to a lot of places we've never been before. And I've shot tons of video that will be making its way onto the website in the coming months. I've been taking a slightly different approach this time. Instead of driving myself insane trying to shoot and edit all of this stuff on a daily basis, I've been accumulating mountains of material. So rest assured, eventually we will filter through it all, select the very best, and serve it up on a silver platter to you, the loyal internet surfer. As always, thanks for checking out our blog. Available on DVD. Now, the most important rule in starting any fire is don't catch yourself on fire.